Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 105AM Milli 47. It's the Tier 4 French SPG. It's located on the northeastbourne of Province, and this one's under the command of Deathnub. Now, this Arty has a 105mm gun, which is capable of doing 445 alpha and penetrating 30mm of armour. But it's on the collector's tab, which at tier 4 means that not many people actually play this Arty. Well, mainly because they don't see it, they don't have to play it, they can go straight to the AMX 105 and play that one instead rather than this one. And so it gets kind of neglected, but it's actually quite a decent Arty. And it's quite possible that you will be able to get ace tankers in this one fairly easy, because so few people actually play it. Now, the first targets he's going for is Stug, 3 Aslains B and a Matilda. He's dialing in. Remember, it's only 105mm. Well, that's a direct hit straight away on the Stug. And he's now aiming for the Excelsior, who's taking a lot of punishment down there. We've lost sight of him temporarily, but I'm pretty sure our teammates will pick him up again very shortly. Standard reload time is 15.34 seconds, and we can see that Deathnub's got it down to 14.59. Okay, he's reckoning somebody's up there. I think actually he would probably be better aiming near the house, the usual TD spot, because I'm pretty sure there's somebody up there. In fact, he's just spotted a Striv M42, or rather somebody else spotted him, and that guy's on fire. He's going to die. Yep, he's gone. Okay, we've noticed a KV 222, or 222 I should say. That's the Tier 5 Soviet SP, heavy tank rather I should say, the premium heavy tank with a Tier 7 armour, at least on the hull, not on the actual turret. Now, he might be able to do some sizable damage to this guy. Yep, he gets his first hit and hits the tracks and tracks the guy. And if he doesn't repair, he waits for it to repair, I think, and moves off again. But we won't get another shot until he comes up to this corner. But then we can really set about destroying him. Now, this is the first of the French Arty, which has a traditional flat trajectory, which makes it difficult to try and get shots on the enemy. And he fired into the corner expecting the enemy to be there, and I think he was, but he's now switching over to this T6 medium. He's gone. There's Matilda 4 over there, and the KV-220 has now come up to the corner. There he is, being held back by a T1 heavy at the moment. I'm not so sure the T1 heavy will come out of that very well, because yeah, the KV-222, you can only really penetrate it through the turret, unless of course you've got HE, in which case then an Arty can really have about, and yeah, you can't get a shot on him at the moment. He's around the corner. T1 heavy's gone balls deep, and I'm afraid he's gonna die. Yeah, that was expected. Okay. Well, he's waiting for the KV-220 to sort himself out, but if the Su-76M stays near him, he'll proximity spot him, and every time he comes up to that corner, he'll get shot at. Okay, so, who's next? Well, there is a tank destroyer up in the corner. It's the same one we've hit before. It's the Stug, 3 Aslains G. Dialing in, setting up the aim, rounds out, and very accurate. Direct hit on the Stug. We've noticed an Su-76M repositioning. It looks like he's going towards the bushes, but instead he actually turns around, comes towards our guys. KV-220's come up from that corner, and he's now, oh, he's with a 25 TP. The 25 TP gets wiped out, but the KV-222 doesn't move forward. In fact, actually, I think that put him off, and he's now pulling back under fire, and we're almost loaded. At the moment, the game's not going too well for our guys because we're down by 2 tanks. But don't let that fool you, because you can see on hit points there's not really much of a difference. Oh, the KV-222 came up. Pardon me. And that 25 TP is now getting in the way. But look, the Su-76M that we saw earlier on the other side of the map, and he's come up this side, and he got wiped out. Now we've got the Excelsior, he's got wiped out, And we fire around at the KV-222, and I don't think that shell hit him, to be honest. I think it hit the wreck. But he's been put off again. He went down there, but he's come up. And I'm looking around. No, I can't see. Oh no, the enemy does have two Su-76Ms, so it probably wasn't the same one on that corner. Now, Deathnub's taking a bit of a risk here. He's going actually to reposition so he can shoot down that alleyway, that road. And he's got a direct line on that KV-222, so he's going to start blasting rounds down that road. And any second, round out, direct hit, 82 hit points. Yeah, the KV-222 won't be happy about that. And Deathnub's decided just to pull back a little. I think that KV-222 got really upset by that shell coming down to hit him when he thought he was safe. Of course, he wasn't safe because when Arty's playing, yep, Arty can hit spots that other tanks cannot reach. I seem to remember there was a beer advert around about that. I don't know if it was Heineken. May have been. Refreshes the parts other beers cannot reach, yes. You'll have to look that one up on YouTube. I think it goes back to the 70s and the 80s, that advert. Well, he's decided to get really close actually now to that KV-222. And we got nobody spotting him now because the Su-76M has pulled back from that corner. And the shell explodes on the ridgeline there. So we can't see him. We're only down by one tank at the moment, but the enemy seems to have the west side of the map and we've got the east side at the moment, but the enemy at the gates, so to speak. Rounds out. Oh, somebody was there. I think he hit the Stug, or was it one of the Stugs, because there's a Stug 3 Ausführung G and a Stug 3 Ausführung B. Rounds out. Ah, this time around he pulled back. So I think we've got one tank destroyer sitting behind those bushes there and one on the other side of the road. Okay, he's firing in rounds, so he's got plenty of ammunition to play with. You don't get the three different types of ammo because it's only a 105mm. It's below tier 4, below tier 5 rather. So he's only got HE, no premium rounds. And you do get a large count of ammo in this Arty as well. Oh, that didn't work out so well for the M10, who could have been one of the few tanks to take down that KV-222 easily. But the good news is that because he's now dialed in on that corner, he might be able to get a shot. And our Su-76M is trying to come up behind him. He tried a blind shot there. The Su-76M is coming up close. I think the KV-222 is on the other side. There he is, yep, he's coming up. And oh, that didn't work. Try it again. Oh, beautiful! Got the kill shot. And that's his first kill of the game, Deathnub. Okay, so he's going back to the SU. Oh, no, we just saw the tracer from the enemy Arty. The enemy Arty is a Panzer Selbstfahrerwerte 4B, otherwise known as the Heischreck, or Grasshopper. We're looking to that Su-76M. I think he's going to go down towards the cap area. Or is he thinking about it? No, rounds out. Close, but no cigar. Or no moniker. The Su-76 was toast, and now we're trying to take out the Stug guy. Rounds out. Oh, zipped over the top of him, but the M8A1 finishes off the Stug 3. And that means now there's just a Stug Ausführung B somewhere. He's aiming at the last spot where he was spotted. And we're now capping on the enemy's base at the moment. They've only got 3 left. But it's an M10 RBFM, a Stug 3 Ausführung B, and their Arty, the Panzer Selbstfahrerwerte 4B. And there's the enemy M10. He was back near their cap area. Now that might have been the guy who was actually in the bushes, because he's missing some hit points already. Unfortunately, he takes out our SU-76M. Rounds out. Bit too shallow, but it was a good try. And he's stopped the capping. He's gone into the bushes to await the rest of our guys turning up. And now we're down to just 2 tanks. The enemy's got 3. So, yeah, unfortunately, that bit of capping actually worked against us. And losing the M8A1 did not help either. The Stug guy, Aslains B, got a kill shot without being spotted. I think he moved back to one of the standard spotting positions or standard shooting positions for a TD. Deathnub's decided he's going to go mobile. You can act like a TD in this vehicle. And it's quite, you should remember that it's a 105mm gun. If you do go TD in this little Arty, you can do a lot of damage to the enemy tank. Just have to remember to lock onto them before you shoot to make sure that the trajectory is flat. I mean, Arty doesn't have any problem firing flat anyway, but you don't want the gun to fly up and for you to shoot over your target. And okay, the Stug has been spotted. And he's gone into the cap area, but we can't dial in the aim before he moves through. And he's coming up this way. So it looks like we're going to get a chance to get a shotgun, but on the Stug as he appears at the top of the hill. Now he's lining up the shots. Oh, no, he keeps adjusting. He's gone to overhead mode because it's actually easier to aim with this one at close range from overhead. He just needs to place the aim over the Stug as he appears and then blast a 105mm round into his side. There he is. He thinks we're over there. Oh, we suddenly realise where we are, and that's him out the game. Bad news. But remember, the enemy's still got an Arty, so we need to stay here just for a moment to disappear. Arty's firing. Well, he tried to get us. It was very close, but he missed. And that means now that there's 2 on each side. Both sides got an Arty, but they've got a medium tank, and we've got a medium tank rather, which is the Matilda rather, and they've got the M10 RBFM. Well, personally, I'd say that the enemy's got the better force because the M10 can be deadly. With that 76mm gun, the Matilda really is very likely only to have the 2-pounder, and he's found the M10. Now, can we get a shot? I don't think so from here, but we'll try. He's trying to aim in, and the M10 goes down anyway to the Matilda, so now we can head back to the enemy cap and start capping, force the enemy to come down to meet us. Now, I think he's going to go the long way round. Enemy Arty is aiming at the Matilda. Now the problem with the enemy Arty is that he's also got a 105mm gun. And he's a fairly robust design based on the Panzer IV, or the hull of a Panzer IV with Panzer III running gear. Okay, the Matilda is very low on hit points though. One shot from that grasshopper and he could be out the game. It is possible that Deathnub could go up and try and kill the enemy Arty. At least it would stop him. Oh, and he's come down! He's come down! He's coming towards us! Oh, we missed it! And he got an accurate shot, but it didn't hit us. And that might actually give the Matilda a chance to start blasting in, and he is. Now this is going to make it interesting, because the Matilda will stay in the cap. And that will force the Panzerceptfallerfetter IV to come down to the edge. Oh, he's firing again. He just blew his round. Which means he might not be loaded when we get to the top of the hill. But we've got no gun depression with the top gun, so we have to go over the rise in order to get the gun to bear. And there he is. Now, auto aim on. He does. Now, get it down. That's it. Oh, and we took a hit, but I think we're going to reload before he does. RAM damage. Now, make this count. Right on the money. He's hugging him. Yes! Great shot. It worked. I do love a good game when the Arty gets aggressive and goes hunting the enemy. Yeah, they really just can't get it. They see an enemy Arty coming towards them, they think, oh my god, and they panic. It's like rabbits caught in a headlight. That was a first ace tanker for Deathnub in the AMX 105 AM Mini 47. You can tell it's the first one because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time, and he's got them. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. And his win rate from that battle was 5,478, which is more than super income. It's extra. And let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the KV-222, got a high caliber for 1,954 hit points. The second highest damage in the game went to the BDR-G1B on our team with 1,552. And the third highest damage in the game went to the Matilda, who was still alive and capping at the end with 1,327. Well, we can see that Deathnub got 870 out of that game. He didn't get a huge lot of shots. If the KV-222 had actually obliged him, he probably would have been able to get more damage on him as he was going up and down that road. But I'm afraid our teammates actually decided to go in and try and kill the KV-222, and they obviously came a cropper. And so he did lose some hit points to them. He could have got more, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But at least he got the kill shot at the end, and it was a really good one. If we look at the number of kills, we can see that the top spot is the KV-222. He got 5 kills, 1/3 of our team. 3 kills went to the BDR, the M8A1, to Deathnub, and also, no, just those 3, sorry. So they're all in 2nd place, and 3rd place technically goes to the Matilda, the M10, the Matilda 4, and the other Matilda on the enemy team, and he picked up a Leather Slayer's medal out of that game as well, so he was killing high-tier opponents. And the Panzer 38 nur Art got a patrol duty and scout, so he obviously dived straight in to spot as many of the enemy as he could right at the start of the game. When it came to base XP, it was the BDR who did the best, was it? No, actually it was the KV-222 did the best with the high caliber. He got 881, even though he was on the losing team. He still came out on top with 881. And then it was the BDR with 694. 628 went to the Matilda, and you can see that we're down actually in 5th place overall with 516 for Deathnub. And let's have a look at detail. 26 shots fired, 8 direct hits on the enemy, and 1 penetration. Now, who did we actually penetrate in that game? I can probably guess that it was the Panzer Yes, it was. At close range, the 105mm must have carved straight through him, and he does have fairly thin armour as it is. He also got 6 splashes on the enemy, 870 hit points of damage, of which 514 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the other one was the Panzer 1 hit received by way of splash damage as well. That was the Panzer as well. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he earned 18,818 credits on a premium account. But after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, and it's the consumables that cost him in this one, he actually ended up with 26,497 credits loss. But he did get an ace tanker out of it. 774 base XP, or well, it's not base XP, but it's XP on a premium count. And he didn't get any multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But just goes to show that this little Arty is a little treasure. This one and the one next to it, the Tier 5 French Arty, are not played that often, and they should be played more because it's much easier to get ace tankers with them. They might have a long reload time, and they might only be 105mm caliber, but basically they're like mini Leffies. So they just don't have the fire rate of the Leffy. That's the only problem, but they are still very accurate, and they do have good mobility, so it's well worth getting one of these and having it in your garage and then playing around with it, because you might find that you'll get ace tankers fairly easily simply because so few people actually play this Arty. Let's have a quick look at the armour. Okay, we want to be a bit closer, not too close. can see that it's very, very light on armour. 15mm on the upper plate there, lower plate 30mm there, 25 as it goes around the corner. Yes, it's very, very light indeed. That's just basically a gun shield, 20mm thick. Sides of the vehicle, 20mm thick. It's open top, but 15mm at the rear. Yeah, it's not going to stop any shells. Anything that hits this is going to do some damage. You really don't want to get hit, especially not by enemy Arty, because if they do hit it, it's going to go straight through. And again, you can see how light the armor is. You're only likely to bounce shells from these plates here if they come into an acute angle and they literally ricochet off. So yes, it's very light on armor. Let's have a quick look at the modules. Okay, well, driver and the engine are up front and transmission's in front of the driver. He's on the right hand side because of course this is a French Arty. There's a big ammo rack directly behind the engine. There's two loaders. They're both on the left hand side of the vehicle as we're looking at it. Tank commander's sitting in the centre behind the breech, which can be uncomfortable if that comes back too fast and hits his ghoulies. And the gunner is on the right hand side of the vehicle as you're watching there. If you wonder what ghoulies are, look them up in the dictionary. I think I can get away with it because it's a British word. It's almost like mentioning the word bollocks. Most people don't know what bollocks are, but if you look it up in the dictionary, you'll find it's the same as ghoulies. Okay, well, we've got two fuel tanks sitting at the back next to the radio, and the I think the commander is actually the radio operator on this one. And yes, they're working off that ammo rack right in the centre of the vehicle to feed the breech 105mm shells. This Arty never got built, so obviously Wargaming do have some freedom to and some latitude to put the people where they think they would go. And obviously they've decided, rather than putting the ammo rack in the back, they've actually decided to put the fuel tanks in the back. I would have thought the fuel tanks would actually go directly behind the engine to be closer to the engine, but no, Wargaming's decided otherwise. Well, yes, Wargaming can afford to do that because this is not a real vehicle. Anyway, that's where all the modules are. I hope you enjoyed that replay. It was a really good battle actually. It's fun playing these Artys. Hopefully we will get the sound levels right. We seem to be getting closer to it, and I'm hoping that sometime in the next couple of days or so everything will be back to normal again. I'm going to be away this weekend. I've got a family reunion, and that's for the big wider family, so we've got people coming in from all over the United Kingdom going off to Wales for a big meet. So hopefully I'll have enough replays set up so that you can continue watching my videos right up past the point where I get back from Wales. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.